how Alex Eala has carried Philippine tennis forward. Melbourne Park saw an unusual crowd pour into Court 6 for a first-round match at the 2026 Australian Open. It was a scene that felt rather out of place, as that kind of attention is usually reserved for the tournament's latter stages. But for Filipinos, it was simply business as usual, showing up in full force for another glimpse of a rising local hero in Alex Eala. Since her breakthrough semifinal run at the 2025 Miami Open, the 20-year-old has firmly placed the Philippines on the global tennis map, turning each of her matches into a must-watch event. She backed up that surge with steady improvement on tour, continually sharpening her game while climbing the WTA rankings and proving that her Miami run was no fluke. That rise soon translated into tangible milestones. Eala earned direct entry into main draws of all 4 Grand Slam tournaments and etched her name into history as the first Filipina to record a U.S. Open singles victory, doing so against Clara Tauson. Each result carried more weight than just a win or a ranking bump. It reinforced her legitimacy on the sport's biggest stages. And despite her early exit at the Australian Open, her loss against Alicia Parks became a reflection of the growing clamor surrounding her back home. The packed stands and vocal Filipino support underscored how much momentum she has generated for the sport and the country. And that defeat quickly turned into another opportunity, as it opened the door for Eala to represent the flag just days later in the inaugural Philippine Women's Open, the first WTA-sanctioned tournament ever held in the country. It is hard to imagine the Philippines hosting a WTA tournament of any sort had it not been for the emergence of Eala. Instead, a statement has now been made that the country is finally ready to be part of the global tennis conversation. With a WTA-sanctioned event staged on home soil for the first time, Eala's presence also gave the tournament instant legitimacy, turning it into a symbol of how far Philippine tennis has come and where it hopes to go next. This tournament, even though not yet finished, is already a great success. The turnout, the excitement, the feedback from players and WTA officials, it's amazing. For a first edition, I'm just happy to be part of it and to see it unfold, said Eala on having a WTA tournament in the Philippines. In many ways, Eala has become the standard bearer for Philippine tennis. Her rise has provided a clear blueprint for the next generation. Elite junior development, patience on the Pro Tour, and the belief that Filipinos can compete in tennis. But for now, there's still work to do with local female players. Filipina participants like Teniel Maitis, Elizabeth Abarque, Kay Emina, and the doubles pairing of Angelina Alcala and Joanna Pena all went winless. Still, Eala believes these early results should be viewed less as setbacks and more as indicators of where Philippine tennis currently stands, and where it can grow with the right structure and sustained support. Exposure to this level of competition, she noted, is a necessary first step toward closing the gap. Having a WTA tournament here is a huge stepping stone and a wake-up call. Filipinos are hard-working and passionate, and if we start to invest in our tennis players, we can slowly build more champions, Eala said. Despite Eala's quarterfinal loss to eventual champion Camilo Osorio, the week remained a net positive for both her and the sport locally, offering valuable match experience and reaffirming the importance of patience in long-term development. I think it was an overall good week. Of course, I'm disappointed about today. I think I had better days, but it is what it is. I just have to accept it, and there's always next weekend, Eala added. Beyond the results, Eala's return home reinforced her growing role as both competitor and a catalyst. Her presence elevated the tournament's profile, drew attention to the developmental gaps that still exist, and at the same time inspired younger players who now have a tangible example of what is possible. In defeat, just as much as in victory, Eala embodied a mindset she hopes the next generation will adopt: resilience, perspective, and a commitment to continual growth. I think just being so international with my profession and finding myself in different places in the world, I find that where you come from becomes a big part of who you are. It really allows you to appreciate really where you come from, your culture, and it really makes you proud to be Pinoy, Eala said. As the Philippine Women's Open ushers in a new chapter for the country, Eala stands at its center, not just as a participant, but as its driving force. She is currently competing at the Mubadala Abu Dhabi Open, where the number 45 ranked Eala beat Zeynep Somnez to advance to the round of 16 at only 20. She is already shaping the future of the sport, carrying the flag with confidence and clarity. And with a country firmly behind her, Alex Eala is no longer just a rising star. She is the benchmark and the beginning of something much bigger for Philippine tennis.